Tropical Storm Beryl named, likely to strike Barbados on Monday. So we're now at our second named storm of this Atlantic hurricane season. Beryl just declared from the National Hurricane Center at the 11 p.m. advisory. It is currently at 9.6 degrees north, 44.1 degrees west, and it is heading westwards towards the Lesser Antilles and Barbados, where it could impact those regions and those islands as a hurricane. Currently at 40 miles per hour right now, so it's still got a way to climb up there, and pressure estimate 1005 millibars, moving nearly due west at 15 miles per hour or 24 kilometers per hour. This is the latest information as of 11 p.m. local time this June 28th. Looking at the storm's position right now, displayed on the map, it is still quite far away from land areas, and it's Windfield that it's just managing to establish now as storm force winds extending out up to 40 nautical miles in its northern quadrants. It is currently 1,275 kilometers from Paramaribo, 1723 from Barbados, 1840 from Trinidad, 2079 from Antigua, and 2516 from Puerto Rico. All quite large numbers still at this time, but this system is moving quite quickly, certainly as systems do across the central Atlantic Ocean there, and it will be arriving in Barbados early Monday morning, and that's why we're getting increasingly concerned about potential impacts there as well as neighbouring islands. And that is the damaging winds that we're looking at for the primary hazard from this storm, where hurricane force winds are becoming increasingly likely for either or all of Barbados, St Lucia, St Vincent and the Grenadines and Grenada as the storm reaches the area overnight Sunday into Monday morning to the Western Islands later on Monday, and the storm could deliver 100 mile per hour winds to the islands if it makes a direct hit. Here's the forecast with the wind field over the next few days. It doesn't indicate the storm's category, just the storm force winds there extending through into the Caribbean, and that's where uncertainty grows still at this point, but it looks like Hispaniola and Jamaica could get significant storm conditions, and then out towards the Western Caribbean might weaken, not set in stone that it will by the time it gets over there late next week, but it looks like that is what's the more likely scenario at the moment. But as of right now, 40 mile per hour winds, still just the start of this storm's life right now, and a few of the satellite estimates are going just marginally higher, maybe squeezing out 45 miles per hour out of those estimates. But Beryl looking good for its intensity right now, and I expect that we will be seeing some sustained strengthening and possibly quite quick strengthening over the next few days. Certainly the National Hurricane Center agrees. They expect that it will become a hurricane by Sunday evening and then move through the Lesser Antilles and become a Category 2 into the Eastern Caribbean Sea Monday, Tuesday, and then reach Jamaica probably as a weakening Category 1 by the time we get to Wednesday. This is the GFS computer model looking at the storm's trend over the next 7 days. There it is, moving on through the Lesser Antilles, quite small in stature throughout its period there. GFS, a little bit of an outlier towards the north there, taking it through the Greater Antilles. And by the way, look at that second system behind it, also becoming a hurricane there, according to the GFS model. So we could have two here. But right now, we'll just focus on Beryl. There it is, becoming a substantial hurricane. Probably high in Category 2 there, moving towards Haiti, weakens it quite a lot into Cuba and weakens it much more substantially there as well. So if it does interact with all of that land up there further north, then it's obviously going to be a much weaker scenario later on in this storm's life. But if it continues further south and towards Jamaica, then it will have a better chance at staying strong. Look again at those two hurricanes there, two of them on that forecast. With that second system trailing behind Beryl by about a couple of days. But looking closely at Beryl once again, its wind and rain profile will be reaching pretty much all of the Lesser Antilles through Puerto Rico. They'll be getting some rains, and as well as the Dominican Republic and Haiti. And all of those regions, really the Greater Antilles, should be seeing some substantial rainfall and gusty winds. Take a look at the rainfall profile for the next 7 days, and you can see those yellow areas are generally around the 6-inch mark, 150 millimeters, and behind that you'll see another line appear there just right at the end there from that second system, which really piles up those rainfall expectations if that actually comes to pass. Looking towards 15 inches there for a few of those locations, especially in southern Cuba, where we could be looking at significant amounts up to and above 350 millimeters. For the Lesser Antilles, briefly first of all though, the Windward Islands getting up to 6 or 7 inches there by the looks of things. Sea surface temperatures are looking pretty good ahead of this storm. Probably these numbers that we're looking at maybe a little bit underestimating. So at least 27 to 28 degrees Celsius waters. And what is true is that those temperatures will increase as it gets closer to the Caribbean Sea. And once in the Caribbean Sea, those temperatures will reach 29 or possibly 30 degrees Celsius. With the storm's quite pacey movement, it and the system behind it should have decent sea surface temperatures to enjoy, and there won't be any concerns about upwelling. So here it is on satellite imagery right now, really starting to look the part as we watch it evolve, moving slowly towards the west. It looks more towards the northwest on this imagery because it's still quite far onto the right hand side from where the satellite's pointing. But right now it is just north of west, and really blowing up some decent amounts of convection, especially a bit more weighted onto its western and southwestern sides at this time, and maybe just a slight weakness on that northeastern side just at the moment, but that might change. This is the rapid scan imagery showing those high convective cloud tops, 1 or 2 hot towers in there as well. We're not really sure what's going on inside the storm yet, and recon planes, I don't know what their schedule is yet. I imagine they might be coming out tomorrow as this storm draws closer to those islands. I'm quite surprised that we've not seen any watches issued for any of the islands yet. I think that should have happened at this point, but nonetheless I expect that will happen sometime during the next, well, in the morning probably. We'll start to see tropical storm or hurricane watches for some of these islands of the Windward Islands and Lesser Antilles in general. But there's a general movement towards the west, good convection, winds could be stronger than indicated because we don't have any direct observations in the tropical storm yet, but certainly it's very a clear-cut tropical storm that's been designated here by the National Hurricane Center. I think everyone will be in agreement on that. Some suggest that it might have happened earlier on in the evening or even in the afternoon as well. But right now it's certainly looking good and could be a dangerous storm over the next few days. Atlantic hurricane season is well and truly announcing itself as open season, and it looks like it's going to be a busy first week of July for this whole region entering the Eastern Caribbean with Beryl and whatever forms behind it.